Good Saturday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather Update for this December the 7th, 2013. Well, that cold front came through like a wrecking ball, to say the least, across eastern North Carolina early this morning, and the temperature trend was right on par. We knew that we were going to be somewhere around the 60s and 70s this morning, early this morning, and then continuing to fall through the morning time hours. We're down into the 40s as we're doing this update at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And it continues to fall from there. We'll continue to fall slowly, I think, into the 40s and maybe some 30s tonight across eastern North Carolina. And we continue to be in the 40s for your day on Sunday before the warm front lifts northward through Sunday night and into Monday, as this whole system continues to plague our weather pattern across eastern North Carolina. Let's get you a check on what's going on across the area over the next couple of days and kind of explain what's going on. I wanted to start you off with the temperature profiles this morning at, this was midnight. All right, give you an idea. This was midnight to last night. 46 in Roanoke Rapids. We knew the cold air was going to start to move in. It moved in a little quicker than anticipated from the model's perspective. But overall, the trend was right on par. 46 Roanoke Rapids. It was 68 degrees down in Jacksonville. 70 in Greenville at midnight. Now we'll fast forward this, and you see that the temperatures actually kind of stayed in place through much of the overnight hours. We got down to 57 by 6 o'clock in the morning. Right before the 6 o'clock observation came out, we were still at 70 in Greenville. It was still 71 as far as the 6 o'clock observation was at Washington. It was 70 at New Bern and 68 at Jacksonville. And by the time we head towards 8 a.m., we were already in the 40s with rain showers and even a couple of claps of thunder. It was still 70 down in New Bern and 67 in Morehead City, and the cold air continued to make its way down towards the south. We're all pretty much in the 40s at this point. This was as of noontime today, and that pretty much is going to be the story. We'll stay in the 40s today and going into tonight and going into tomorrow as well. Here's a look at our weather headlines. Cold and rainy and blustery for your Sunday. Unsettled weather continues across eastern North Carolina with this wavering frontal boundary back and forth. Warm for Monday as the warm front lifts northward, and then cold Tuesday afternoon and going into Wednesday as well. So what are we looking at on the precision forecast model? Here's 7 o'clock tonight. Temperatures will be somewhere in the 40-degree range in the low to mid 40s. There will still be a chance for rain. I think the model may be overdoing the precipitation just a bit. Right now, most of us are dry, but there are patches of a little overrunning precipitation across the area that is not being picked up by the radar because it's the radar beam's too high up in the atmosphere at the time that this is going through. So the actual precipitation is falling below the radar beam, so it's not being picked up by radar. But I think it's overdoing the whole thing just a little bit, but there's still going to be a chance for rain tonight across the area. Temperatures will very slowly fall into the 30s and 40s. It may be a little bit, I think it's a little warm for our Inner Banks counties and the coastal areas. I think Hatters is right on, but I think Morehead City may be a touch cooler. You're already down to 47. I don't think you're going to be anywhere near this. I think 47, 45 will probably do it for you guys tonight. And you see back off to the north and west, you see a couple of pink shades. That's that freezing rain and sleet mixing in. And I wouldn't be surprised if you live from Rocky Mount up through Halifax and Northampton County. Would not be surprised to see some of that mixing in at times, but not going to be a full-on switch over. Maybe for extreme western portions of Halifax and Northampton counties up near Lake Gaston. Maybe you folks see a little bit of that switch over. Roanoke Rapids, it's going to be a close call for you guys tonight. I think maybe the I-95 corridor stays okay, but it's going to be a close call with how close that cold air damming wedge is, and on top of that, how this precipitation all falls out. I think we're all good here in eastern North Carolina for our viewing area, but it's going to be a close call for our friends up in Roanoke Rapids and Halifax County. So I would give you an idea, say maybe later on tonight and even going into tomorrow as well, you may see a switch over to some sleet and freezing rain. I don't think it's going to be enough to be an issue, but you do need to keep an eye out. Maybe a thin glaze of ice on the windshield early tomorrow morning, but you're going to stay near freezing for much of the day. You see noontime, we're still in the 30s. 3 o'clock, still in the 30s for Roanoke Rapids. But I think that most of this will start to push out of here. We still have a chance for rain through the day, and we do start to warm up just incrementally as we head through your afternoon hours. We're in the 40s, maybe a couple of 50s. I think the coastal areas are overdone as far as the temperature profiles are concerned for Columbia, Swan Quarter, as well as Morehead City. I think you guys will somewhere be near 50, but it's not going to be that warm. I think the inland area is doing well. I think we'll be in the 40s through much of the day for your day on Sunday. So what are we looking at? And I kind of laid it out here. Roanoke Rapids, 34 to 37 degrees. And once again, you could see that switch over. Chinkapin down in Duplin County, our southern areas, 39 to 42 for tonight. Atlantic for the beaches, 45 to 47. New Bern central areas in the 30s and 40s tonight. And once again, on and off showers. It'll be cloudy, it'll be cold, it'll be blustery tonight across eastern North Carolina. So what are we looking at after this little bout? So what are we looking at for the rest of tonight? Now, like I said, if you are heading west tomorrow or coming back east along I-40, it may be a slippery slope with this icing event. There is a winter storm warning in effect for places to the west of us, not including any portion of our viewing area. There's a winter storm watch well to the north, and if I'm not mistaken, that may be an ice storm warning for some parts of the Piedmont. So this is definitely not a good idea. If you have plans going out and about tomorrow, do not try to go west. And if you're trying to come back east, it's more than likely better for you to wait until maybe Monday. I mean, it's going to be downright nasty, especially for the Triad and in that general vicinity. We're just going to keep with the rain showers. We're going to be in the relatively warm sector of this system as we go into the next couple of days. That system rolls out of here. The next frontal boundary, that's the cold front, moves in here for Tuesday. That brings us another shout for rain. But finally, that's going to kick off shore. I think by Wednesday, we finally get in some clear air. Once again, let's talk about the temperature profiles. This is Sunday evening, and we're cold. But look what happens through the afternoon hours of Monday. The cold air goes away. I think by the time we head towards the evening hours, we'll have a wide-ranging temperature gradient across the area. I think maybe some of our northern areas stay in the 40s and 50s through much of the day, maybe peaking around 60 for Greenville. But you head south, it may hit 70 down in Jacksonville. So that's how wide-ranging this event is going to be as far as the warm front lifting northward. It will all depend on how much of the cold air wedge goes away and how much warm air we can get back in here before the next frontal boundary moves in here on Monday. So some areas may hit 70 Monday. Some areas may stay in the 40s and 50s. Kind of depends on where you are with this system. Right now, I think we're going to hold to the 60s, and I think mid to upper 60s is a good call around the region. Good chance for rain tomorrow, 44. That's all we're going to do it, and that's going to be late in the day. I think most of the day we stay in the 30s, or right around 40. I think it's about 7 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when you could see 44. Windy conditions, north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. The winds will shift around to the south as the warm front lifts northward on Monday. That's when we get that warm push, 67. And I think that that's going to be, that may be too high for some areas, but some areas it may be too cool. It will really depend on where you are. 40% chance for rain. I think that'll be during the morning hours. Rain chances come back for Tuesday as that frontal system comes in here. Falling temperatures through the day as the frontal boundary pushes through. I don't think it'll be as dramatic as what we experienced this morning. It will be enough that you'll notice it. I think we'll drop into the 50s through the afternoon hours, eventually down into the 30s through the overnight. Wednesday, we'll keep a slight chance for a shower for the coast, but mostly sunny skies coming back. 45 for Thursday and Friday. Models are a little iffy on the long-range forecast because of they have the understanding of this next low that's coming out of the desert southwest, but the European has a bias of holding back the low, but it has been more consistent than the GFS model, which is painting a lot of rain by the time we head towards Saturday. For the time being, I'm going to hold off on that. We're still 7 days out. We can obviously change that. So this is a changeable forecast, especially for Saturday, because we could be getting deluged on Saturday. The European holds that rain back until about Sunday. So we'll have to watch this closely as we go into the next couple of days. But overall, once this system gets out of here, we do get a couple of dry days in here, but then once again, we get unsettled once we head towards next weekend. That's going to do it for me here on the ENC Weather Update. Stay up to date with us on Facebook as well as Twitter and on WNCT.com. There will be no newscast on WNCT tonight, but we will have a CW newscast at 10 o'clock, so make sure you tune in for that for the latest weather forecast. And our Andrew Ruiz will be anchoring tonight for the first time, so make sure you join in for that. Have a great rest of your evening, a great day tomorrow, and a great weather week ahead.